Can you hear me quite well?
Sorry, I was muted, but yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, great. So it's Angelo speaking. I would
Hi.
like to thank you so much for tuning in. You are truly the queen of Facebook, and I want to tell you that you have been a role model, not just as a professional, but as a content creator as well. So thank you very much personally.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for saying. I'm honored to be here.
Is it quite early there? What's the time there?
7:30 in the morning. I got up at 5 a.m.
You got up 5 a.m. for us. Thank you so much for this. So I have a couple of questions for you and would like to know from your knowledge and your experience with social media and Facebook and Instagram. So for my first question, what do you think will be the biggest challenge for digital marketing professionals and agencies in 2024?
The biggest challenge. I think it probably is going to feel like taking what's the word I'm looking for? Keeping up was the word I was looking for. Like feeling that internal pressure of feeling like you have to keep up. The AI is just this enormous amount of noise and chaos and fire hose, and if we get so caught up in that to think, oh my gosh, I'm behind, I'm not ahead of the game. But I really encourage you, the talk I just gave at Social Media Marketing World, one of my key points I said to the 2000 social media marketers is stay focused. Actually, Angelo, there's a great book. It's called Indistractable. A little yellow book by a gentleman called Nireyal, Nireyal. He's a great person to follow on Instagram too. And he's talking about how we live in the most distracted times ever. And one of your absolute strengths and assets today in the business world is your ability to stay focused. So that's my advice.
Yeah, you're quite right. It's been a struggle being, a digital marketing professional and a social media specialist these days. It's quite a struggle. So I would like to ask as well, from your vast experience, what are the most common pitfalls and mistakes that you see businesses making on Facebook and Instagram?
I'm going to circle back to something I said in my talk, and that would be not updating your strategy or tactics or approach and trying to just do the same old thing that you were doing, for the past years, and wondering, maybe why things aren't working as well. So that would be a pitfall, to just keep not testing and not iterating, not having like people on the team dedicated to coming up with new ideas and being creative and forwarding the brand and keeping your finger on the pulse, being, trying, not necessarily always having to be the first in a new arena, but certainly standing out because it's the best, it's the most creative, it's the most relevant, it's maybe it's like the Surreal's brand is because it's the funniest. People love to follow them for that. But Red Bull's brand because it's the most daredevil. But so that would be the pitfall. The main pitfall is just falling into a groove of doing the same thing over and over and wondering why it's not working anymore.
So try a lot of creative new stuff and don't be afraid to try things, to mess around a little bit.
Yeah, I love what John said earlier about one of the best ways to test content is in your stories, because it's ephemeral. It's like, oh, that didn't really work. Okay, but this one, wow, look at that, we get a winner, and it's like, it's a great place to test.
Exactly. And thank you so much for this, because you've been trying a lot of stuff with your own content, and I've had a lot of ideas because I follow your work. So thank you again, personally.
Oh, sure.
So for my third question, I am a social media instructor for Knowcrunch, which delivers professional digital marketing education with in-class and e-learning courses. And I want to ask you something about our new generation of marketers, of digital marketers. Could you share some tips and insights for our students and alumni who want to pursue a career in digital marketing?
Gosh. A career in digital marketing. Wow. What's coming to my mind to say, Angelos, is there's a quote that's been going around for a while now with the dominance of AI. And people are saying, okay, AI is going to replace marketers. And that's not true. But what the full part of the saying is that AI will replace marketers that don't use AI. So it's like if you're an up and coming student, you're studying digital marketing, I would say to definitely familiarize yourself with and even become highly proficient, even master some of these tools. You might become brilliant just with image generation and prompt, that whole thing they call prompt engineering, where you become a master at creating prompts. Of course, these tools get more intelligent the more we use them, whether it's ChatGPT or Microsoft or Google, and Meta's coming with their own, is to use it as if like it was a real person and training it to get better at writing these prompts. But also, I want to come back to my whole passion and love for the human connection. There's nobody like you on the planet. AI can't replace you as a physical individual, unique, differentiated individual. So carving out a niche for yourself that is really unique to you, that capitalizes on your strengths and your skills, and that you're bringing in that emotional connection, the deductive reasoning, all the things that robots just can't quite do as well, if that makes sense.
I get it. So yeah, just stay updated with the latest tools, try creative stuff with it, and don't forget to don't stop studying everything that you can. You're a lifelong learner, aren't we? Aren't we all?
Lifelong learner, right. And then just stay, I was going to say stay really grounded, because we can get so much in our heads, we get afraid of the technology. But when we realize that we have this innate intelligence and this brilliance and this wisdom inside of us that nobody can take away and that AI will never replace, and to have that to give you confidence.
Great. So let's stay on the topic of AI, because you shared a lot of insights about the latest tools that we have on our disposal, or that we are going to have on our disposal from Facebook and Instagram. So as you know, in Greece, we don't have all the latest features to play around and to try. So I want to ask you, what have you tried for AI tools in the Facebook and Instagram platforms? Is there something that you have personally tried and that you see that generated a lot of engagement and connections?
Not really. That's a great question. I've played a little bit with the text to image generator, and it's the first time with that cute little girl with the Bengal cat. And I just posted about it. Okay, look, now here's this tool. You can try it. I played a bit with the AI stickers. I'm waiting for access to the Meta AI in groups. I don't have that yet, but I've signed up for access on the wait list. I think right now, honestly, it's still quite early days, even in the US, even like with this Write with AI prompt. I'm hesitant to use it personally. I don't feel comfortable using it because, as I say, I'm so true to my own authentic voice, and I love to write, and I just love to connect with people and not say, oh, by the way, I used AI to write this. So write this personal post, but I think there's going to be more use cases for it as time progresses, like later this year. If you ask me that question again, I'll probably tell you, oh my gosh, I tried this, the new AI chats for business, and they're going to be a game changer.
Did you have the opportunity to test the AI bots with the personalities, the celebrities and stuff like that?
Yes, I did. Yes. And I was underwhelmed. I'm sorry. That's my honest answer. They were underwhelming.
Okay. That's
talking to
very
Mr. Beast. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. So at Knowcrunch, we have updated our curriculum with lots of AI tools and processes, but how much do you actually see Facebook and Instagram changing in the next year because of them? Is it too soon?
The first part of your question was about these AI bots?
That we have created a lot of, we have updated our curriculum in the digital marketing masterclass, but because we want to stay updated on everything, how much do you feel that AI is going to change Facebook and Instagram in the next year? in
Great
2024, actually?
question. Oh my gosh. In the next year, wow. Honestly, I think it's going to be very significant changes. However, you know, Meta, the whole team at Meta, and Mark Zuckerberg at the lead helm there, they realized that we can't, I'm saying they can't roll everything. Like if they were to push out all the new things that they already have waiting, people would be so overwhelmed they'd just leave the apps. It would be too much. So they have to slowly pace the rollouts. So if we fast forward 12 months from now, there are going to be aspects of both platforms, Facebook and Instagram, that will be radically different, but they have to stair step us to get there. And I think that all along, the integration of AI is optional. It will never be a case of where we're forced to use AI, generative AI. You don't have to use generative AI to create your post, your image, your video, your text. There's also going to be audio. There's even voice. One use case that I'm very excited about with AI on the voice, I just reminded myself, is translation. And they've got so good. Mark Zuckerberg has done a few demos of how it can work. It gets the intonation, the inflection, and so being able to take your knowledge and just press of a button, have it very accurately translated into other languages. I think that's going to be a good use case.
Great, thank you so much. I have a question that's very much into the connections and the communities that and all the practices that you shared before as well. So if you had to pick a platform to grow a community in for 2024, to consult a brand in building a new community, would it be Facebook or Instagram? What would you say?
Definitely Facebook, and a Facebook
Definitely
group.
Facebook. Okay.
And usually a private Facebook group. I'm personally not really a big fan of public Facebook groups. They have their place. They have some use cases, but I love private because it creates a nice safe container where people know they're not going to get a bunch of, you know, spam or trolls, and then you can control who comes and goes. It's a little easier than a public group. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Of course, if you know, if a brand or business is more active on Instagram, try out the broadcast channels as soon as you have access, because that might be a way to create, as I say, it's not quite so much community because the members are not interacting with one another, but you can certainly tap in and see who reacted to the post. So that might be an option for Instagram users.
Perfect. That's perfect. So if you have anything else to share that you might not have included in your presentation, or something that's come up with the questions, what would it be? Do you have anything for us?
Let me just see. What else do I have?
Whatever comes to your mind, whatever comes up, it's fine.
Yeah.
I want to get something, you know, unprepared, something very candid, very authentic from you right now.
Oh, unprepared. Well, the one part that I included in my talk that I was doing earlier this week, as I mentioned, the 2000 social media marketers, there's a new book coming out actually next week, and it's called The Wolf is at the Door. The Wolf is at the Door. And it's a gentleman called Ben Angel, just as it sounds, Benangel. And this book is specifically about how to survive and thrive in an AI-driven world. And I just thought it was excellent. I'm going to be interviewing him in a couple of weeks on my Facebook page, and you know, go ahead and see if you might pre-order that book, and it might be helpful to a lot of folks here. I would say one other thing, if you're not already, is to follow. It's called the Marketing AI Institute. Marketing AI Institute. A good friend of mine, Paul Raitzer, he is the founder and CEO, and he does a wonderful weekly podcast. Excellent way to stay up to date with what's happening in the AI world.
Great. Thank you so much for answering the questions and tuning in. We hope you have a wonderful day. It's still very early for you there. So thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. May we have an applause for Mari. I don't know if you can hear it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.